already put on my foundation and did my brows and primed my eyes with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. So the next thing I'm going to do is bronze my face. And I am taking the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in the medium deep. Ooh, if I can open it. Looks just like that. And I'm actually using like the Bare Minerals buffing brush to put this on. I don't know if I really love this brush for putting on bronzer, but I guess it's the best one that I have. But I am focusing, I'm first starting back here and working and buffing it out or working my way forward. That way, you know, you don't want to start here and get too much product. If you're gonna have too much product, it's better that it's, you know, towards the back. And I am basically just buffing this all over the tops of my cheekbones and bringing it forward towards the apple of my cheeks, but not quite onto the apple of my cheeks. And this is meant to be a pretty bronzed look, so you can kind of go to town with it. And it does help if you kind of buff it up into the hairline too. Keeps you from having like a lighter line, like right around your hairline here, which could look a little odd. Okay. And then I'm also going to add some bronzer to the temples, focusing on the temples and then buffing it up over the top of my forehead along the hairline. And right where your temple goes in, right here, or if it doesn't, then just right above your cheekbone here, that's where you kind of want to focus it. It's okay if that gets a little bit darker. And then buff that up over the hairline. Same thing on this side. And then I'm just doing it on my jawline. It can help to slim your face a little bit. I'll even come up just a little bit right here on either sides of my chin. It can help make your chin look a little more pronounced if you like that. And then if you want to, you can bring it down your neck a little bit. It's really hot here today, so I'm a little blotchy. Okay, so then what I usually do next is my blush, and I'm going to use MAC's Frost Blush in Margin. I love this color. It's really soft, very pretty, and because it's a frost, it gives you a really beautiful natural glow. And so I'm focusing that on the apples of my cheeks and bringing it back. And I'm using the Real Techniques blush brush, and I love this brush. Love it, love it, love it. It's fantastic, and it's really affordable. I get it at Ulta. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start with the eyes. And I'm taking my NYX highlight and contour palette, and I'm gonna be using the warmest shade here as my transition color. So I'm just taking, where's that brush? There it is. Just a big kind of fluffy brush. Oh, that's the wrong color. We don't want the darkest color. So I'm taking the fluffy brush and I'm just putting that where the crease is and working my way up. And you just want to sweep that back and forth and in circular motions to blend it up. I'm not taking it all the way up to my brow bone, I'm doing it just under my brow bone. And if you notice that my brow bone looks very light and almost highlighted already, it's because when I was doing my brows, my line got a little wobbly, so I used concealer to just carve out the bottom line to make it nice and crisp. I don't always do that, but because I got a little out of hand with my brow pencil, I went ahead and did that today. Okay, so that looks blended out good enough for me. So I am next going to be taking this Buxom kind of cream eyeshadow, and it's called Golden Retriever. I'm trying to see if it says exactly what it is, but it's like a cream that you can use on your eyes. And my sister gave me this because she didn't really like it. So I played, sorry, I got an itch on my nose. I played with it the other day and did this look that I'm doing now, and I thought it looked really pretty. So that's why I'm doing it for you today, but I'm just using my finger, and I'm just gonna pat that all over my lid. And right now I'm not focusing going anywhere into the crease, just meeting up into the crease, but not going beyond that quite yet. So as you can see, it's just a beautiful, beautiful shimmery shade. It has little gold flecks to it, which I think is just so pretty. And it's very soft. It's not like in your face. And what I'm kind of doing is taking what's just remaining on my finger and kind of going up into the crease a little bit, and then towards the outside of my eye, and then I'll bring it up a little bit more over there. And then I'm gonna do that on the other eye. And I just keep going back in to build up the color. And then again, with what's left over on my finger, going into the crease a little bit. And then bring it up a little bit in the outer corner area here. I think this is just such a pretty color. She also gave me a purple that I haven't used yet. And it's sparkly like this, but it's not like a bright purple. It's almost like a more gray, like a muted purple when I swatched it on my finger. So I'll have to play with that and see if I can get, think of a fun look for that to do for you guys if you want to see it. And if you're worried about any harshness where you kind of brought that color up into the crease, just take your fluffy brush again and just blend it out. And then at this point, you can decide whether you want to add like a liner of any kind, like a black winged liner, or you could do just really, really close to the lashes just to deepen it up a little bit. Or if you wanted to do any darker shadows on the bottom, just to kind of smoke it out a little bit, which I think I am going to do. So I'm going to take, I think I want to use, I'm going to use just a pencil brush here, and I'm going to use the darkest shade in the NYX contour palette right there, and I'm going to start really lightly, just get that a little bit on the tip of the brush, knock off the extra, and then I'm just going to go ahead and sweep that all along my lash line. You can even take it and just kind of wrap it up around the corner of your eye, kind of up towards the crease, just to make sure that it's blended into that color and you don't get like a light spot like right there at the corner of your eye. And then what you can do as well is then take your fluffy brush again and go back with that lighter color that we used for the transition shade and get a little bit of that on the tip. And then you can buff this out even more. Then I'm gonna take this product that I have, it's a little dusty. There's some like makeup powder on it. And it's called Addiction Cosmetics. And when I was in Huntington Beach a couple summers ago, they had a shop right there on the beach where they sell this makeup. And this is their Glam Mineral Shimmer Powder with Diamond Dust. So basically it's a really, they call it a bronzer, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to like dump it everywhere, but it's pretty dark and it's actually very, very sparkly. I don't know if you can tell by that lid, but it's pretty sparkly. So I don't know if I'd really use this as an actual bronzer. You could probably use it as a highlighter depending on the skin tone. I think I'm too fair for that, too pale. But I'm just taking a little bit of that on a Real Techniques detailer brush. And I'm just putting that the bottom inner half of my eye just to add a little bit of sparkle. Make sure I'm using the right side here, hold on. And I have actually wetted this down and put it on, and it gets extra shiny and it's really pretty. And if I had thought about that, I would have brought something down to, you know, wet my brush down a little bit, but I didn't, but that's okay. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and bring it all the way across, just really lightly, just to add some shimmer. You don't need to have the shimmer down there, but I saw it when I was grabbing my makeup and thought, oh, that would look kind of pretty. It will kind of fall out onto your cheeks. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, so now I am going to highlight my eyes and my face. So for that, I have a couple different options. What do I want to do? For the highlight on my brow bone and my inner corners, I'm gonna use, this is the Shady Lady palette by The Balm. Sorry, it's really dirty. It's a volume 2, and I'm gonna be using the color Devilish Danielle, I believe it's called. Yes, so it's this really pretty champagne color right there. And I'm just using kind of a flat, fluffy brush. This is called a blending fluff from some just generic, I don't know what brand this is, but I'm putting that right along my brow bone. You can see how shimmery that is. So I start by placing it right where the arch is. That's where you want to focus most of the highlight. And then you can bring it down and a little bit forward if you'd like. And then I like to turn the brush sideways and then kind of go back and forth, and that's kind of how I'll blend it into the transition color. If I'm worried that it's not blended enough, then I'll take up that fluffy brush that has the remaining transition color on it and just go over where the two meet. So first I start this way, right under the arch, and go back and forth to spread the color around. And then I'll turn it sideways and just kind of blend it down. And then I'm going to take some more of that and I'm going to put it in the inner corner of my eye. And I'm going to bring it just down into the inner corner of the bottom lash line a little bit. Any sort of champagne color would work, like shimmery, frosty champagne color would work. It could be a matte, but since we're going for like a glowing look, that's why I am using this color. I've used the CoverGirl color in champagne before in another tutorial. That would work just as good as this would. And then I'm gonna go ahead and highlight my cheeks. So again, I'm taking my NYX highlight and contour palette, and I'm gonna be using mostly the lightest color here, which is kind of a silvery highlight. And then this is a more champagne highlight. I will dip a little bit into this, but I'm focusing a little more on the lighter, the white silver one. And I'm using this, it's actually a bronzing brush from some generic kit that I was given as a gift a while ago. You can see I'm just brushing that right on the tops of my cheekbones. And I find that this brush actually works pretty well for the highlight. Sometimes like the fan brushes won't pick up enough product. And so I find that this one does pick up enough for me. So I'm focusing that right on the tops of my cheekbones. I start right here, right kind of out the corner of my eye, and I will bring it down a little bit. Since we're going for a pretty glowy look, you can get a little bit more heavy-handed with it if you want to. Hoping you can see that. I don't have super powerful lights, so I'm not sure you can see how shiny that is. So doing that on the tops of my cheeks, and then I'm gonna do a little bit on the tip of my nose. I'm just using the corner of the brush. And if you feel like you need to blend it at all, just use your finger, kind of tap on the edges. And then I'm gonna put some on my Cupid's bow, which is just the very top of your upper lip. And I just brush it back and forth. And a little high up there, oof. And then if you want to, you can do like the bridge of your nose or down the center of your nose. I think today what I will do is take just a little bit and kind of start at the bridge and just go down the center a little bit. I'm not gonna go all the way down because I do tend to get kind of shiny anyways, and I don't wanna look like I have a completely greasy face. I just want there to be some pops of light here and there. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. If your face is dry, you can kind of feel free to glow up as much as you want with the highlighter. It's not gonna be as much of a problem for you. If you're really oily skinned, you might wanna be more light-handed so that you don't feel like you look wet and shiny all day. That might bother you. And then also, in case you're wondering, there's this whole thing about strobing, how contouring is out and strobing is in. Strobing is just heavy, heavy, heavy highlighting and on the highest points of your face. And it's kind of where we've already done it. We've done the brow bone, the nose, the cheekbones. I've read where they even, because you're not contouring, they'll put it underneath the, where you would put your contour, so the hollow of your cheekbone, to brighten that up, to make it look like there's a shadow there. We're not gonna do that today because I don't wanna quite go that far. But if you want to, you could also do the high point of your forehead, just above the brow bone. You could do, eyebrow bone here. You could do the center, but that can look extra shiny. So I'm actually using the champagne color highlighter so that it doesn't get too crazy. And I'm putting that just over the high points. Just like that. Like I said, you could do the center if you want to, but I'm not going to just because I get shiny there. And then I'm actually going to contour a little. I didn't do that earlier, but I think I'm going to. So I'm gonna take, this is their lightest and coolest shade from the NYX contour palette, and I'm gonna be using just a little bit of that. And a lot of times I will contour after I've done the bronzer, because then I can kind of already see where the hollow of my cheekbone is right there. So I'm using the Real Techniques contour brush, and I'm getting just a little bit. This is very pigmented. So I'm getting just a little bit of that, and I'm starting way back here, and I'm only coming down a little bit. I'm not gonna bring it up very far in. And I'm just doing that in the hollow of my cheek. And it's good to take it back into your hairline, kind of up towards the top of your ear. And if you want to, you can kind of bring it up a little bit. So I'm just gonna do a little of that. And then on this side, sorry, my hair is crazy curly today. I had curled it yesterday with a tapered curling wand, which I haven't done in a really long time. And I got a lot of compliments on it. And then I didn't want to wash my hair this morning, so I just kept the curls. I touched up some around the front of the face where it had gotten flat from, sleeping on it. And then if you want to, you can contour the temples right here. Focus kind of right in the temple area and then bring it up along the very outside. And then again, you could do underneath the jawline where I did it before. Just helps to slim your face a little bit. We kind of go up on the sides here. in here just a little, just to make my chin more pronounced. If you have a cleft, like a tiny little cleft in the middle of your chin and you want to accentuate it, then you can take a little bit of your contour. I'm gonna flatten my brush a little bit, and you could put it right where the cleft spot in your chin is, just to make it more pronounced. If you want to do that, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then if you wanted to contour your nose, be very light-handed, but you would just go on either side of the bridge of your nose. So I'm just gonna come down a little bit on that side. I don't do this every day, but I thought for this look, it might look nice. So just go down the sides, and then underneath where we highlighted, so on the like tip of your nose on the underside right here, just like a little V. And then you can kind of bring that contour down just a little bit so you don't feel like it's like a harsh line. Just bring that down the sides of your nose just a bit. And then here you can decide if you want to add more to your blush. It'd be really beautiful to add a little bit of a coral color, or you could just add more bronzer. Since we are doing a bronze look, I'm just taking what's left on my bronzing brush, excuse me, I always do that. I always want to say blush instead of brush. And I'm just bringing that a little bit more onto the cheeks. Okay, now you can do your mascara. One thing you could do, sorry, I'm backtracking a little bit. If you wanted to deepen your lash line, you could take a pencil, a brown pencil, and kind of just, I don't want to do something too dark. I have a darker one. This is Coffee Bean by Jordana, which is a really affordable line of makeup that you can get at Walgreens. I don't know, you can probably buy it online of course, but I don't know where else it's sold. I've only seen it at Walgreens, but it's very affordable and I really like their products. You've seen me use some of them before. But I'm just gonna deepen up the outer, about outer half of my eye on the lash line, and then you can take your pencil brush or your fluffier brush and kind of blend that out to soften it if you want to. You don't have to. And you could do the same thing for the top as well, but I think I'm gonna actually leave it as it is. And then you can also do a highlight on the inner bottom rim of your eye. I'm gonna use a white today and do it very lightly. A nude would look really, really pretty as well. But I thought I would just do this to make it a little bit more dramatic. I am using the Wet n Wild one. This one's really good. It stays in very well. And you don't have to go over it a ton to like build up the color. I've definitely seen, or I've had liners where I tried to put it in the waterline and you have to go over it and over it and over and over to try to build up color. You do not have to do that with this, at least this white one. I haven't used any of their other eyeliner pencils, but it's really, really good. So I've already curled my lashes. So now I'm gonna put on some L'Oreal Butterfly Mascara. Okay, and after I applied my mascara, I went ahead and applied some false lashes. You might actually see the glue, it hasn't quite dried. These are the Ardell, the Wispies, and I don't normally like lashes where they're shorter on both ends and longer in the center. I'm not used to seeing that on myself, and since these were really the only lashes that I had today, I went ahead and just cut off the last half of the eyelash and scooted them out so they wouldn't come all the way in. That way most of the length is towards the outside of the eye instead of right in the center. I know a lot of people love these lashes, and for me it's just too different of a look for me. I always like the ones that get a little longer toward the flared ones. They get longer towards the outside. So like I said, I just cut off the outside and then just scooted them outward so that the most of the length was towards the outer part of the eye. These are awfully long for me. I haven't worn ones quite so wispy before. So this is very different for me, but I think they look really pretty. And this is actually the very first time I've ever worn lashes without eyeliner. I'm realizing that right now. Normally I always have eyeliner because it's a little more forgiving if you don't quite get it quite to the lash line. But these have a clear band, which makes them more flexible and they're a lot easier to work with. And then, especially if you aren't using an eyeliner, it helps to use one that has more of a clear band. That way it's, what am I trying to say? It's just easier. We'll just leave it at that. So now I'm going to do my lips. So I'm going to do a nude lip and I'm gonna use the Jordana Rock and Rose lip liner. I love this color. You don't want to forget the corner of your lips. A lot of times people forget that. They don't think they need to go all the way up, but it is kind of noticeable when you forget to do it. So just make sure you go all the way to the corner of your lips. And then I pull my lips kind of tight when I'm filling in the lip liner on the whole lip because it just makes them smoother. So it's easier to get a nice smooth application. And then I'm going to fill in my lips with the MAC, the Viva Glam limited edition color. This is the one that they did with Lady Gaga. And it's a nude, but it has a little bit more brown to it. I really like this combination. A pinky nude would be really good. The MAC Cream Cup color. This color would look really good with this look as well. You could do lots of lip colors with this look, but I wanted to just keep it nude today. So you could keep your lips like this, but since I wanted to go for more of a glowy look, I'm going to do a gloss today. So I'm trying to decide. These are the two that I'm thinking of. This is the CoverGirl Lip Lava in Lychee Lava, I believe it's called. Yes. And then this is really cool. This is like a holographic, I don't know if you can see, color by Jessie's Girl. Yeah, and it's in Tangerine. And I believe, I don't know if you can tell, but there's lots of kind of pink and orange in there. There's blues and greens as well, but the main colors are like pinks and orange, which is why it's called Tangerine. They have several different shades of this, some that have pinks and some that have more greens and blues, and it intrigued me very much. So I use this on my lips by itself, and it is beautiful. It's a beautiful consistency. It's not too sticky, but you know it's gonna stay really well. It's really smooth. And at first I noticed the holographicness of it really well, and then it just did give like a wash of like a tangerine, very light color, but it was really gorgeous. And I think, even though this one has sparkles, which I like, I think I'm gonna use this one today. It probably won't do much, but just make it glossy. Oh, can you see that? Can you see the center of that, it has a little bit of like pink to it. Of course, when you spread it out, you don't quite see it as much, but it's pretty. And unfortunately, because I am using this on a, you know, darker, it's a nude, but it will kind of get color in your tube, so you're gonna have to be okay with that, which I don't mind it, that's fine. It's just I just love this lip gloss. It's so creamy and not too sticky. So yeah, as that spread out, you don't really notice the holographicness of it at all. I'm gonna just wipe off the extra brown that kind of got mixed in off onto my hand, so that too much of that's not getting into the tube. Oh, some did get in already, that's okay. It'll just make it slightly tinted, right? And then I think what I'm gonna do, I don't know if it's just the lighting in here, I feel like I'm not seeing the highlighter on my cheeks as much as I want, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that Devilish Danielle eyeshadow that we use on the brow bone, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and use some of that to highlight my cheeks. It's just very shimmery and a little bit more in your face. I feel like, so, oh, it's hard with my hair right there. There we go. Can you see that? Can you see that? That shine that's pretty. And I know this is a lot of highlighter, but that's just, I mean, that's what we're going for. We're going for a very glowy summertime look. A little more on the tip of my nose. I would do more on the Cupid's bow, but since there's gloss, that would be a bad idea. I'll do the bridge of my nose a little more like we did earlier. Although I used my finger last time for that, but that's okay. But yeah, this is the look. I hope you guys like it. I have actually never worn a look like this where it's like just bronzy and glowy, not too dramatic. I mean, I don't always wear dramatic eyes or looks by any means, but I don't usually just wear like, this is kind of like a wash of color on the lid, nothing really dark and smoky into the crease, no eyeliner. Like, I don't usually do looks like that. So when I tried it a couple weeks ago, I really loved it, which is why I wanted to do a video for you guys. This is something that is totally acceptable for a daytime look, but I think it's also quite beautiful for a nighttime look. If you're going out, you have a wedding, whatever it is. I think it's just really beautiful, really simple, but still dramatic enough with the glow, the bronze, and the eyelashes. So I hope you really like it. I want to give you a good look at the look here. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I will be seeing you in the next video. Bye. Hey, I'm back. I just thought I would show you if you thought that this was too light of a look and you wanted to make it a little bit more glam, a little bit more extreme or intense, maybe we should say, for a more evening look. I'm going to show you what you could do really quickly just to do that. So what I did is I added a little bit of a peach blush onto the apples of my cheeks. Where did I put that? It's a little sample. So it's from the Balm, and it is called Swiss Dot. It's a beautiful matte, kind of a peachy, corally kind of color. And then I am picking up more bronzer, and I'm going to just intensify the bronzer that we have, starting towards the back of the face, bringing it forward and up onto the cheeks a lot more than what we did the first time. And this is just to, if you're wanting to go more like all out with the bronze, this is how you would do that. So I'm also gonna go around the temples and the hairline just to make it more bronzy. And you can do more along the jawline. Which I was looking back on my earlier shots, and the like contouring that I did like right in the cleft of my chin looked super heavy when I was watching it back, but it was just the way my lights were. It created like a major shadow So sorry if that looked like crazy. And then what I would do if you wanted to make this a little bit more smoky, a little bit more intense, is take a darker brown. I'll use the darkest brown from the NYX contour palette on a pencil brush. And I've got big old lashes on, so I'm gonna be working around those guys, so it's kind of hard to see. But I'm gonna be putting this in my crease. So I focus on the outer part, going in circular motions or like windshield wiper, whichever works for you. I kind of tend to do circular motions when I'm working in the crease. And I'm going about only halfway up over the eye. Just like that. And then on this side. It's a little harder for me to do with the big lashes in the way because they're so long. And just try your best to blend it out. I'm doing this really fast just because I don't have much room left on my memory card. So I'm just trying to get this done for you. And then you can intensify the bottom lash line too. Taking that same color and just bringing it down on the outer third to half of the lash line. It's up to you how far you want to go. And you can intensify this more if you want to, just layering on darker brown, or even if you wanted to, a little bit of black would be fine. Burgundies would be pretty too. But since we're trying to keep this in the bronze family, I just chose a darker matte brown. So that's just a way that you can just intensify it more if you want it to look a little bit more smoky, a little bit more evening out-ish if you wanted to do that. So I thought I would show you really quick. Okay guys, see you in the next video. Bye.